I'm out here looking for Storm because clearly that's the only way I can start my videos now if they're here at PHS, so I need my co-host. Sorry, Dave. I've been looking for you this whole time and you were under the trailer. Alrighty, we found him. So today we are going to be looking at a really cool animal, the American alligator. These guys are illegal to keep in most states, but some people try to keep them as pets anyways. So we're gonna take a look at what happens when people don't keep them properly and see how big these guys actually can get. You excited, Mr. Storm? Hope you enjoy. So before we go out and see our alligators, let's take a look at one of my favorite little books, Alligators and Crocodiles as Pets from 1958. So clearly these animals have been a pet interest for a really long time. Doesn't mean that they make great pets. So you can see here this guy has a little hunchback. This is actually my favorite page where it says, "A specimen like this is a pet dealer's problem. Don't buy it. It is scrawny, mopey, and weak." But you know, it goes in here with some of the care not being correct anymore, but these kind of pamphlets came with baby crocodiles and alligators back in the day. So let's go outside and take a look at what these animals look like when they are adults. So Clem here is our biggest alligator, and sometimes he likes to say hello. Hi, Clem. Yeah, you're a good boy. So Clem is about 11 feet long, so he's a big alligator, and you might notice these scoots on their back. So these scoots are actually called osteoderms. Osteoderms are pieces of bone, so osteo means bone and derm means skin, that kind of stick up out of their backs. And these are used for a few things. They're very hard, they're pieces of bone, so it obviously is for protection from predators or other, alligators or crocodiles. All crocodilians have these, but they're also used as temperature regulation as well. So being cold-blooded, these animals sit in the sun and bask, and they use these scales to collect that sunlight, that warmth, and they're able to process that and use it as energy. Here's Fluffy, Clem's girlfriend. She's a smaller alligator, so she has some osteoderms, but they are a lot smaller. So you might notice that their osteoderms are really only on their back. So that is one of the difference between crocodiles and alligators, is that osteoderms for alligators are mainly found on their back, whereas crocodiles have them pretty much all over their body. All right, so here's a side-by-side. So here is Miss Fluffy, who's about 6.5, almost 7 feet long, and then Mr. Clem, who is about 11, almost 12 feet long. So you can see that they are pretty dang big side by side. He looks a little bit darker because I think he just got out of the water and is all kind of like shiny, and she is a little bit dry. So they both have that very darkish color. In cartoons or in drawings, you often think of the alligators as green, but they are more of this dark blackish color. Okay, we're gonna go in here. Wow, these are bad. They're from a lizard. It's fine though. So this is a couple of my favorite alligators. This is Charlie and Lucy. They were our first two alligators we got in 2003. They're super easygoing. We don't use them a lot for education just because they're so big, but they don't really do much. You can see they're pretty calm. I would never in a million years do this with a crocodile or Clem. He's pretty grumpy for an alligator. but you can see that they kind of just are hanging out. They get a little bit more feisty when they are in their water area because it's somewhere that they kind of protect a little bit more. But you could see how giant these guys are. Like, look, there's my foot, and these guys are humongous. So this whole enclosure is for them. They have this nice house over here, nice land area, the water feature. So that way they have a lot of room to move around. These guys are about 30-ish years, I believe, but we did get them in 2003, so they might be actually a bit older than that, 40 plus years maybe. But again, look at those teeth. They are very big teeth. This is not an animal you want to accidentally get bit by. They can have a very strong bite pressure, around 3,000 pounds per square inch for some crocodilians. So whether you're looking at an alligator or a crocodile, not a smart choice when it comes to the amount of pressure they can have in those jaws. And you might also notice that these teeth are very, very white. And that is because you have to make sure that you're brushing their teeth 3 times a day. Huh, Lucy? She's like, no, I'm just kidding. They actually lose their teeth quite often. Ooh, I think this one's a tooth right here. So they lose these teeth and are able to grow them back kind of like sharks. So there is no like dental care really needed for them because they break off their teeth and they grow new ones right underneath them. So pretty easy for these guys. Obviously an exotic vet is needed to take care of these big animals if they have a problem. Oh, I love their big feet. His hand is so cute. I just want to hold them. But these tails are also very, very strong. If she decided, she could whip me with this tail and probably make me fall over if she got me on the ankles. But I'm not standing that close to her. But that's another hazard you have to worry about, because if you're too close to that animal's tail, you could also get hurt by that as well. Crocodilians are also really awesome when it comes to things like target training. It's very easy to get them to understand to come to a certain location, to get food, or to come to voice commands. So we have a couple of alligators in here along with some spectacled caiman, but the alligators will sometimes listen to commands. Come here. Come here. There you go. Come on. Hi. Aren't you so good? This was someone's illegal pet. Are you going to come out of the water? Come on. There you go. Aren't you so good? I know, I don't have any food for you. If you take a look at his face, you can see all of those cool little dots. Those are actually called ISOs, or the integumentary sensory organ. And thank you for backing up. And they actually help the crocodilians in the water find food. So they're very sensitive and they can detect movement in the water, and probably some other things that we don't really know about them yet. They're very complex parts of their body. Okay, now that I have caught the alligator and she has thoroughly made my shirt all wet and dirty, we could talk about her. So normally when we bring her out to program, she does have tape on her mouth. This is a common practice with moving crocodilians and for keeping the people interacting with them safe and for keeping the animals safe. So when I'm just holding her right now, I don't need the tape because I'm going to put her right back into her enclosure. So if you take a look at her little face, you can see those ISOs and some dirt she got on her mouth. This size is a manageable animal. She is about 2.5-ish years old, and she came to us as an illegal pet. So in Arizona, you are not allowed to have these guys as pets, and that's true in a lot of states. So if you ever consider bringing one of these home, that is something you are definitely going to have to look into. So you could see that she is a pretty good size right now. She's probably about 2.5 feet long, but they grow pretty rapidly. So you're gonna need an outdoor enclosure to keep them happy. This one is for some of our bigger alligators, Mr. Stubbs and Baby. Mr. Stubbs is cool because he's the only alligator in the world with a prosthetic tail. So again, this size, pretty easy, you know, even calm, you know, without the tape. She's not trying to bite me or snap at me. She has her mouth open just because I'm picking her up, but she's pretty easygoing. So I wanted to show you this awesome comparison photo that I got from my friend Brandy over at Safari Encounters in California, a place that I really want to visit, so hopefully we'll get a video there soon. The top shows an awesome alligator that has perfect teeth, a really nicely formed snout, and you can see all those ISOs, while the bottom is a basement alligator, one that someone probably hid so they didn't get caught with them. It has horrible teeth, a horrible snout, and internally probably has things wrong with it. It is that way because it didn't get the proper lighting or nutrition like calcium that they need. So these are the effects of what can happen when these animals don't get proper care. So another thing to really consider before bringing one of these home. I hope you enjoyed the video about big and small alligators we saw today, and will maybe hopefully rethink getting an alligator as a pet unless you have a really good setup. I just wanted to show you one of my favorite little buddies. This is my caiman lizard, Dormammu, and he is the next best thing to a crocodilian in my opinion. And he says, until the next animal adventure, love the planet and rattle on. Have a good weekend, guys.